Hi, my name is Khurana. I am the Danoff Dean of Harvard College, and I am with one of our wonderful students today, Kevin Ballen. How are you, Kevin?
Doing well, Dean Khurana. How are you?
Good. So, Kevin, you and I have spent the last several years talking a lot about democracy, civic engagement, creating greater engagement for our students around public service, and really been at the forefront of so many things that we've been doing in this space. So, one of the things that we started a couple of years ago was our Spark program, which is to give students a little bit of an opportunity before they even step foot on the Harvard campus to participate in service in their home community. Do you want to share a little bit both about the thinking? Because I know you were sort of someone right
Yeah.
there on the ground about the program, and then also a little bit about why it was important to you.
Yeah. So this program, I think the rationale behind it was to really sort of have students do service before they come to Harvard, and particularly in their hometown as well. And we really wanted to think about, or we were thinking about, how do we bookend the Harvard experience with service so that when students come in, they're coming in with a service mindset, and when they leave, they're also leaving with a service mindset as well. And so I think that's why the program is hugely important. In addition, that the hometown component I think provides just this awesome opportunity for students to do something really meaningful in their hometown before they leave so that they remember their hometown. They're thinking about it as they come to Harvard and thinking about ways that they can apply everything that they're learning, all of their extracurricular experiences back to their home communities as well. And so I think that's, why the program is really important and one of the reasons we created it. And I think to me, the program's important because we're, trying to get as many Harvard College students as possible excited about civic engagement, to make civic engagement and civic learning part of their Harvard experience. And so making sure that we have this cohort of students that come in with this foundation, this excitement, and this energy, they can then share it with their peers, inspire everyone, and say, look at all these really cool things I did before I was even a student. And that's why I think the program's so important to kind of our culture here at Harvard. And personally, my story as well, I think, hometown engagement, being given the opportunity and agency to really run with projects when you're young has sort of shaped me as a leader. And I'm so excited that we can give that opportunity to other students too.
That's so great. And I know you've played a leadership role because I've been in some of the parts of the program with you in the past. And I was wondering if just sort of ask a question, what have you most enjoyed about being involved with the Spark program?
Yeah, I think two things. One is the incredible projects that students come up with. I mean, we've seen everything from students running voter registration in their home communities to art classes, even online when we were in the pandemic, to recycling programs in countries across the world. So students are doing incredible and amazing things. And then I think the second part of this program is that when you're a Spark student, you get put into a small cohort of other students as well, about 8 to 12 other students that meet a few times throughout the course of the summer. And just like the dialogue and the community during those conversations is so meaningful. You're not doing this work alone. You have someone to bounce ideas off of, to share learnings with. And so I think some of those conversations, sort of sitting in and hearing what people are thinking about, has been really remarkable and incredible.
That's so great. Thanks so much, Kevin. Maybe we can go a little bit back and forth a little bit and talk about
Yeah.
what you've heard from students who participated in the program, and I'll share a little bit about what I've
Yeah.
heard, what's really sort of stuck with me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I think from what I've heard, students love this experience. I think the opportunity to do something really meaningful in their hometown. A lot of students continue with service organizations that they've previously volunteered with, and this allows them to kind of go deeper and really kind of develop out their own project. Maybe they've just been a regular volunteer before. So I think that's really remarkable and incredible. And then I think just having this community coming into Harvard and sort of knowing that there are other students excited about public service. We've seen almost all of our Spark students and do something really incredible afterwards, whether that's involvement with PBHA or the IOP or starting their own organization on campus. So really knowing that there's this cohort that you can develop with. But I'm curious, what has been sort of stand out for you?
Well, I remember when we first did the first cohort and we kind of all got together in the fall and celebrated the projects. And one of the things that one of the students said, I didn't realize like how real Harvard's mission was
Mhm.
in terms of our mission of educating citizens and citizen leaders for society, and that actually trying to put a program like this is really a signal that it's not just sort of words, but rather a kind of practice. No matter what we hope students study, no matter what they end up doing, that this is something they kind of build into, maybe I guess a way would be a capacity or democratic or civic capacity as part of what we do as a Harvard education. And that really
Yeah.
stuck with me because I think it's important, especially at this moment, to make sure that institutions and organizations are doing the best they can to set conditions for people to be able to kind of make authentic choices. Especially so many of our students are so service oriented and want their
Yeah.
sort of work to have a meaning and impact on the broader society.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I'm curious, Khurana, you were really integral in helping this program come to life. Are there sort of like reasons that motivated you in the first place to sort of bring this program to fruition?
Well, I mean, it is, the mission which has been here for a long time. That's definitely trying to think about that in new and creative ways. I have to credit my team who helped us think about, why don't we sort of deconstrain our idea of when a Harvard, education and the Harvard sort of, kind of interaction starts, and sort of summer starts with starting summer with a service project really just sort of resonated. We had already sort of begun moving toward a day of service in the beginning of the year, but this really resonated. I would say for me, the second big thing is that when I think about like the repair that our world needs, and part of that comes from Martin Luther King's adage, which is that you don't have to be X, Y, or Z, or wait till you're in charge of A, B, or C. That anybody can be great because everybody can serve, and that's always really stuck with me as a kind of just kind of an idea for like who we are and who we can be as a society. And I think the second one for me is I think what always has motivated me is that I've known that through my own service experiences that I've got to be around people who are different from me, who think differently from me, have different ideas. But when you're kind of working on a task together, you really get to
Yeah.
learn about each other and appreciate each other's different perspectives,
Mhm.
and understand where people are coming from. You may not always agree at the end, but the thing is, the thing you're agreeing on is that this task needs to be done and it's important. And at that scale, I think we can build up a better society. So for me, that's also been about like doing our own role to sort of build bridges and serve at the same time. So
Yeah.
what about you? Like why has it been such a calling for you in your life?
Yeah, I think, to me, a lot of this work comes down to agency. I remember the first time that I felt agency at doing service and civic engagement work when I was 14, and I just could run with a project and do something about the things that were happening around me. And it was incredible. It was this like fire moment of like, wow, I got to do this as a young person. And so after that point, I really just said, I want other people to feel that as well, and have been really thinking about what are the programs and opportunities and experiences that help facilitate that moment for people, that click moment, that sort of like civic awakening where people feel called to service and social justice. So I think this program is a great way to kind of keep cultivating that with students and to help people very early on sort of make that commitment to public service.
Well, Kevin, I think you're a senior now, right?
Junior.
Junior, okay.
Yeah.
So you still got another year for us to help, but so we can skip that part. But I do want to say something, Kevin, which is I really want to thank you from like I literally believe that we met very early on when you became a first year student at the college, and you talked about the importance of service and how we could do more. And I just want to thank you for your commitment. It's been incredible, and you are already making such a big difference at the college. And so, in many ways, you are helping serve the college in ways, in addition to our larger society, that hopefully will last for a really long time. So thank you for everything. So glad to have you as a member of this community. You've made us a better community.
Thank you. No, it's been such a pleasure to work on programs like this and other programs too with staff that is really supportive, and I think people that are really aligned behind a vision and a mission to sort of develop citizen leaders. So it's really exciting to sort of build out these programs from scratch and do it with a great team.
So I'll say to the incoming class of 2025, if you want to meet some of the coolest, most interesting students, this is a great way to start. So we look forward to welcoming your application to the program.